Welcome to the fourth devlog talking about my indie game project NeonTail. Usually tutorials are boring. If I could, I would get rid of mine. But, and I will explain why later, a tutorial is completely mandatory in NeonTail. The momentum-based gameplay needs to be completely understood before you jump into the city and start doing crazy tricks. I'm going to explain how a good pacing can help players go through a boring part of a game. My name is Faili and I make video games. I'm basically obsessed with video games. I do concept arts, game design, modeling, animating, coding and music. Creating things is my thing and those devlogs will tell you more about it. So, unless you're very smart and can adapt to a new gameplay in a whim, NeonTail needs you to understand how the controls and the momentum-based physics work before you start skating like a pro. Therefore, the first thing the player will have to do is a tutorial. Ugh. Okay. There's some history here. Trust me, I saw our tests before and after implementing a tutorial. It is truly night and day. Before the tutorial was implemented, people kept complaining the controls weren't the one the other games have. They kept hitting walls and got frustrated. And except for a few exceptions with sharp people who adapt and learn quickly, those guys are amazing by the way, most were mainly having a very bad time. After a tutorial was implemented, most people focused hard on learning, then stayed for long periods of time after the tutorial, some even coming back a little later, when the queue for playing the game was smaller. Maybe you guessed it, those tests were done in conventions. Anyway, the important part is that many said they loved it and most of them said the gameplay felt good. All of that gave me a huge insight on the importance of a good tutorial on games that really needs it. And NeonTail really needs it. However, having the devs behind you watching your every moves is quite different from you playing at home, having that crazy amount of unplayed game in your library. Nowadays, many people can stay in a new game more than a couple of minutes before wanting to jump into another one if they didn't see anything cool right away. I didn't want the first impression of the game to be a tutorial in a small garage, but throwing the players in the city is absolutely the worst thing I can do. So, I created a very short introduction cutscene, where you can see the main protagonist doing cool jumps and grind in the city. The idea is to tell the player, hey, look at this playground, how cool is the idea of skating in here? That's a good reason to stay a while and learn how to play this game, right? This care about the user experience anytime during a new game really shows the importance of a good pacing. Of course, I'll try my best to work heavily on this, and you know it's not an easy task when your game isn't linear. Open world kind of naturally do that, taking away the control over the pacing of the game from the developers. I mean, at least in the free roaming part of the game. Anyway, beside adding a new cutscene, I also updated the first dream sequence of the game, adhering more to the story I want to tell over time. I also finished implementing playable new characters, who will be unlocked by plot later on. Each character have their own animations, stats, and later on abilities. The way they feel and play further separate themselves from each other and help defining their uniqueness and their individual charisma. Anyway, that's it for this devlog. I've been finding ways to optimize the devlog's creation process so it takes less time to do. This might mean more devlogs, maybe, as long as I'm not sacrificing any game-making work time. This might also mean shorter devlogs, but at least news will be fresher if they appear more often. Anyway, if you would like to support this project, we have a Patreon page, and if you would like to chat with me, we has a Discord. And if you would like to watch me testing the game every week, I stream every Wednesday. You can check out the details on our Discord page. And finally, if you wish to support the project even more, you can like, share and subscribe and do things and join our community on Discord and Facebook and Twitter and follow my progress. Anyway, thank you for watching my devlog. I really hope you liked it. See you next time!